Well, I got 6 o'clock on my watch, so we get the meeting started. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll need a motion to approve the agenda. Before we do that, 9.5, I am going to put in a public public input line with 9.5.
9.5.
Yeah.
Okay, I will make a motion.
Which 9.5?
The
first
meeting,
9.5?
The first meeting, yeah. Sorry.
And we're gonna actually have to approve the second agenda.
Yes.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the amendments and the agenda for the first agenda, or the first agenda here.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Here, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Was your, I'm sorry, I missed your motion. Was it motion to approve agenda with the exception of the change of?
No,
the-
two.
With the
Add-
change.
To
With the
add
amendment.
public input 9.5. Okay, so now we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approved minutes of April meetings 1st, 15th, and 18th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the April minutes from the 1st, the 15th, and the 18th.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Presentation from Keenan and Amanda.
Oh, sorry. We came here to officially present Chief Christie with a check for $1,629 from the Chamber of Commerce and $50 from Marion and Axel Erickson as our fundraiser, so you can get your DUI program for the kids and work with my kid. So this is for you. That you can walk over.
Thank you, guys. Okay, warrants, discussion on pump bill, $9,112.50. The reason the bill was more was because the pipe was completely rusted out, and the new one that went in was stainless steel. Should have a
The rust issue wouldn't have been part of the reason the pump went out, would it?
He didn't say that when I talked to him on the phone, so I just asked the reason why he needed to replace the pipe as well, and that's when he said, "What? I still have your pipe here, I'll send you some photos." So I said, "Oh, it appears it was leaking." So,
Thank you.
Actually, it was a motor that was burned out, right?
Oh, the pump
Yeah,
is
but-
fine.
well, the motor is what burned out, and then if we choose to overhaul the pump, but, that'll be the second part of this.
Yeah, understood.
Right now, we have a brand new pump and a brand new motor there. The 10 horsepower, 150 gallon is complete pump and motor unit.
Yes. So, I guess the second part of that, and, I don't know if, Lonnie wants to offer any input on this, but you also have in your packet what it would cost to have the pump overhauled and put a new motor with it. Now, the purpose of this would be just to have it as a spare. I don't know, being as it's coming in at $4,400, if it's something we're interested in doing, so.
Well, actually, we're at $1,200 about, $1,250. We're about at 80% the price of brand new.
Yeah.
I'd rather have brand new, I guess, at
Yeah.
that point in time.
Yeah, we're that much different.
Well, wait, hours, labor to, oh, this is
Yeah,
overhaul, there's no
this is
installation,
everything, yeah.
this is just a pump on the shelf sitting there, so yeah, it's 80% the price of a new one, and,
Yeah, plus they have to put it in.
yeah, so.
Plus it was $1,225 to pull the old one and put the new one in,
But we'll have that,
anyway.
irregardless if we
Yeah,
Yeah,
rebuild the old one or install another new one at some point in
either
time.
way, you're gonna pay that.
Yeah.
Like, how many years did this last?
I think it was in, I think it was 9 years.
9 years.
So, we'd have $4,400 tied up sitting there for 9 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know, would we have a use for this in any other application?
No.
Okay.
Well, and the last thing you want is for it to seize up while it was sitting there.
Yeah.
I mean,
And this new pump with the stainless steel lines, it's maybe gonna be in there 12 years.
so who knows?
But we gotta pay for a new pump. I would make a motion to approve the $9,112.54 bill on the new pump and installation.
I'll second.
And, also then that we are not going to.
Can I do it in one motion?
Yes, please.
Okay, then I would amend my motion to say that we do not repair the old pump for $4,411.37.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
And I will second.
okay. Now we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to approve warrants as presented.
anyone have issues with anything? I'll make a motion to approve the warrants as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Planning and zoning, public hearing.
That can't happen until 6:30.
Okay, we'll have to wait on that. 6. Okay. Compensation time discussion.
After our last council meeting, I did ask all the remaining employees that were not here. The police department, Wanda, Dale, and I asked them their opinion on comp time, and the employees would like to not lose that flexibility with their over 40 hours. They'd like that flexibility to decide how they want to handle it. So I guess, given that information, I'd like to have you change your mind from last meeting about billing comp time. At last meeting, you said just mandatory go over 40 is all overtime. The employees would like that flexibility to decide how they want to handle it.
The employees are aware that there are specific guidelines regarding that comp time.
Yes.
That it has to be used within a certain period of time, can't go over a certain amount, and
Yes.
so on.
Yes,
Because that will have to be adhered to. If we do opt to remain, you know, allowing comp time, that's gonna have to be stipulated. Is that logical, or?
We can also do it so that certain departments can keep it and others can get rid of it. Like, it does not, under FLSA, it does not have to be a blanket policy. If it's
makes
feasible for
sense.
one department to keep it, but not for another, we can also do it that way. And-
Can one person, if you have two people in a department, can one of them take it and the other one
I
not
don't
take
think
it
that's a good
then?
idea.
Well,
Um,
it's pretty
but,
much, this-
I mean,
I don't know.
If you
I'm
wanna
just
chime
asking
in
a
if I'm
question.
wrong,
There are certain city policies that say you can either opt for the overtime or you can opt for the comp time. Most other cities do that if you're gonna have one, you can't do the other. It just gets to be too hard to keep track of and then, you know, people wanna, the next thing that you'll have is, oh, I wanted to bank comp time and now I wanna switch that to overtime. And I wanna do that right before the budget year's ended, or, you know, I mean, it's just, you can do it, it's fraught with peril, potentially.
So pretty much it's better, everybody goes one way or the other on it then. Either go all comp time or none at all and go all overtime.
In a specific department, right? That would make
and
sense.
if we need to research it more, we can do that too. I mean, until that new policy manual goes into effect, it doesn't matter anyway, which isn't gonna happen tonight. So
That's
if
true.
we don't reach a final decision on it tonight, it's not that big of a deal.
Now, we're trying to, people want to accumulate over 40 hours of comp?
Current policy says you can accumulate up to 16, and you have to use it, I believe, within the month, if I remember correctly. So there could be a situation, just by way of example, if Lonnie has 16 accrued, and he's got to go in because there's an emergency somewhere, I think at that point, under our current policy, you would have to pay him overtime, because you can't bank more than 16.
That makes sense.
So you're still gonna potentially have scenarios where a person's got some comp time built up, but you may have to pay them overtime because they've hit the max that they can accrue. And under FLSA, you have to, there's no getting around paying overtime unless you meet certain exemptions.
So we can research more, and before we put the new manual into effect, we can make sure that it's gonna work for everybody.
Well, it sounds to me like pretty much everybody is wanting comp time. Is that correct? From what, have you talked to anyone yet that is opposed to it?
I talked to all the full-time employees and none of them wanted to lose it.
So they're all in favor of the comp time.
Correct.
But at the 16-hour level, or do you want to go beyond that? Is that what I'm hearing?
We were actually talking about the possibility of just eliminating comp time
Okay.
altogether, and that's what they're saying. They would rather us not
Okay.
do that, I believe.
So the way it is now, if they accumulate 16 hours, then they have to use it at that time? And is it,
In the month, correct.
Well, month thing,
so 16 hours a month,
It's not.
is that right? I'm confused.
I thought it was, I did not have the updated amended version of the manual. So the month thing went away in August of 2014. So it's still 16 hours.
But
but there's no
that's
time.
just a cap.
Yep.
Okay, I see.
There's no time limit
Yeah.
on using it.
Nope.
You just become overtime.
16 hours,
Yeah.
that's the rule. At 16, if you hit 16, it gets all paid out.
Oh, it's paid out at six, when you
All
get
paid
16?
out.
Once you hit 16, it's supposed to be paid out.
In the
Okay.
future.
In the future, you can bank that 16 hours, right?
You can bank up to 16, and once you get 16 in your comp bank, it has to be paid out.
Right, but,
Per policy.
Additional
yeah,
hours.
any subsequent hours would have to be
Over
paid.
16.
Correct.
Yeah,
Hour
'cause you can
17
keep
would have
the-
to be paid
Or
out.
do they have to pay the 16
I guess that
and
wasn't
you're
how I
back down to
read,
zero?
that's not how I read the policy, but if I read it wrong and that's
Oh,
your
really?
interpretation, I
You
guess
thought
we
that
can-
it meant that
Once you
even
hit
at
16, you gotta
it's
pay
just-
it out,
Pay it
yeah.
all out.
And that is to
So then they're
prevent,
back down to zero then?
yes, and the reason for that is to prevent getting blindsided with somebody leaving or retiring, and then they're like, I wanna cash in my comp time, and then they have 240 hours comp time, and we owe thousands of dollars.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why that limit is in place. But I
So-
think we did decide earlier we were going to up the amount to 40. But that is not, that's not the current policy. but when we discussed it a couple months ago, we decided that we were going to increase that amount
To 40.
to 40.
So really, what we need to do is we need to get the revised policy manual and review that.
And there are other issues that we need to put to bed before we can do that.
Understood. Okay.
Could we set up a policy when we redo this, that when you get, to if we're gonna do 40, when you get to 41, you start getting paid, but you can continue to keep your 40?
We can stipulate that, I mean, that would effectively be able to hold that 40
I
indefinitely.
mean, I think as long as we're within the FLSA guidelines, we can do whatever we want with it. It's just a matter of what's a good idea for our small city and our small budget versus, you know. Yeah, technically, I suppose, yeah, you could do that.
You know,
I think it'd be better to spell it out specifically
Yeah.
rather than leave it vague, because as we have seen, we've got already two different interpretations of the same text, so.
But, you know, a 40-hour bank is only gonna be $800-900 or $1,000.
Absolutely.
That's not such a big blow to the budget as.
Unless all 6 people
that's true.
bank that and then quit at the same time, which is not likely to happen, but it could.
But the thing, if they just bank it and leave that set there, they're not getting any interest on it. But if they would get it paid out, put it in the bank, at least see.
Well, it gets
I know
paid
you-
out at your current rate, so if you allow it to carry over for years, and then that person leaves, retires, whatever, it gets paid out at at the rate that they have when they leave. So they could earn that money at $10 an hour, keep it for 20 years, cash it out at $30 an hour.
And they've gone backwards doing that. If they keep it, if you're gonna talk about 30 years, they've gone backwards doing it. So
And I'm not
I don't
saying
see
it's
that
gonna
as a
happen.
threat.
I don't think it's going to happen, I'm just saying,
Right.
this is why when
There was a
departments
limitation.
decide to limit that
Yeah.
stuff, that's why they're doing it, to make it a little more foreseeable and make it hurt the pocketbook a little less when people do cash it in.
What was the reasoning to go to 40?
Just a little more flexibility.
To better make use of a full week of comp time.
Yeah.
If you wanna make a trip and burn up your comp time, you can take a whole week, you don't have to cut it short, you know, you've got 2 weekends and a week. That was kind of the discussion, was just to allow the flexibility, or more flexibility within the comp time.
At any rate, there's no way to solve it tonight. Until that policy manual is done, it's not, the rule's not gonna change tonight, so.
Okay. All right. Then we just have to wait on that until the policy manual is finished.
You
Any
have-
more discussion on number 8 then?
You are all okay in the sense that you have a policy that allows you to bring up 16 hours, and then it says if you get over 16, all overtime shall be paid in cash. And I believe you found in the minutes where they got rid of the 30-day restriction. So everybody's got a comp time, they're allowed to take comp time at this point under the current manual if they want to. And we can tweak it as necessary. So it's not, just so you know, there's something in place.
Okay. You got any more on that then? All right, then let's move on to number 9, which would be executive session at 6:18.
Is this gonna take us past 6:30?
I don't know.
That's up to you.
That's up to you guys, I guess. Otherwise, we'd have to sit here and wait till 6:30, because as soon as that's over, we have,
I don't think we have a choice, I think we better wait.
well, let's, you know, the only other thing we could do is go to public input ahead of time, and let's get that over with, and then we'll come back to the executive session. You know? That agreeable?
Sounds good.
Okay, then let's go to 9.5, public input.
I have public input. First of all, you've taken care of the initial public input that you missed. There is an item on the planning and zoning, I spoke to Melissa about it briefly. The ordinance number, I do believe you already have an ordinance number, 2019-1. So you may want to check that before you go any further.
That is an ordinance or resolution.
I will have to check. I don't know that.
The other issue on public input had to do with executive session. And there is an appearance of misuse of executive session to go in to discuss not individual people, but generalities. And that will get you dinged. The other thing is for public input, that was a nice try in the 9.5, but we've got these folks coming in to put in input on the planning and zoning, and by putting public input back where you did, it had the effect of blocking them from putting public input in. So,
No, I don't think that's correct at all.
well, these folks are sitting waiting to give public input on the planning and zoning thing on the change of the planning and zoning, and they want to give their opinion, and if they cannot give it in public input, there's no way for them to produce it.
They're allowed to
Planning
give
and zoning
public
says right
input.
here, public hearing, 6:30 PM.
Public
It's
hearing
a
is just an,
line
is just an
item.
open hearing, public hearing is just an open meeting.
Please don't
It's
scream
not-
at me.
I'm not screaming at you.
Sure you are.
Evidently, you're hard of hearing. These people would like to give their opinion.
They're allowed
and-
to give their opinion.
Not
regardless
the
of
way
the
you,
outcome.
not the way you have it
On the
worded.
agenda.
Not the way you have it worded.
They do have an item on the agenda, planning and zoning, public hearing.
Yes, it's a public hearing. It is not public input, sir. Semantics.
You're the one that is on the public input right now.
Yes, I am, and I will
Am I
relieve,
correct?
I will go to anyone that wants to give public input on your planning and zoning.
Okay.
I
Are you
yield.
finished? Hopefully. Thank you.
That remark was not necessary.
We need to get to move on to see. if
Yeah,
anybody
but
else
your
has-
aside, was
Please
not
don't
necessary.
scream at me.
Well, evidently you can't hear for
Are
beans.
you finished?
Yes, I am finished. I
Thank
yield
you.
the floor to other people that
Thank
want to
you.
put input in.
Mr. Mayor, may I?
Sure.
First of all, I don't think either comment was necessary,
Okay.
hopefully, or the hard of hearing, I don't think we need any of that here. Second of all, Ms. Larson, can you state what statute you're referring to with the executive session pertaining to only individual people?
1.25.1.
And how has it come to your knowledge about what's being discussed in executive session?
The comp time, and it says executive session, part B.
Is that today or in the past or what?
I'm working from past examples. You go in to speak about personnel, and you spend an hour or hour and a half speaking on personnel. That's out of the range of discussing whether a person is fit for the office that they hold,
So
or
you're
for
saying
the
that
job that they hold.
If we are in executive session for more than 1 hour, it is reasonable to assume that we are talking about more than one person?
Yes,
Okay.
or more than one issue.
That is not correct, so.
Speculation.
But those
Yeah.
speculations
Well,
to
what
rest.
goes on in executive session is executive session, end of story, thank you. So, nobody knows about it except those people in executive session.
And I would point out that other people in the executive session outside of the council may speak to that. They're not bound by executive session, only the council and the outliers of the council are bound by that.
Do you have any other public input?
Anyone else have public input?
Mr. Mayor, if I might.
Sure.
The statute says that you just have to provide for a period of public input. Doesn't say when. Ms. Larson sent a complaint to my office, and out of abundance of caution, I said to Pat, maybe we ought to have two. It's not on the agenda, but you've substantially complied with the letter and spirit of the law, so if you want, when we have planning and zoning. You can have another public input in case anybody has anything they wanna say, and that'll be fine. And if you want to, when the new council gets seated, you've got public input there. If you wanna expand the scope of that input to, again, cover anything that was mentioned in planning and zoning, or if we wanna talk about anything at all, we can do that. So the main thing is to make sure that everybody gets a chance to speak if they want, and so you've got the ability to do that.
Do we wanna ask people in the hall if they have public input, just to be safe, or?
Sure.
We're listening, we're good, we just want to.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You sure? We got 5 minutes.
No. We're just here for info.
Okay. Do a 5-minute potty break, or?
Well, I got a question, I guess. I know there's some changes going to be made, and I guess we're kind of curious of the changes. And, you know, I guess about, this is for the addition or adding a building to a lot, isn't this what's for?
That is correct.
So what are the changes to be made? Is the specifications, I guess.
This is what we're discussing at 6:30, right?
That is correct.
So
That's a
we
good
can't,
question.
Okay.
we can't just start it till 6:30 because the agenda says that discussion is for 6:30.
Oh, okay, all right, so I'm a little ahead of my time.
Yep.
Stay tuned.
All right.
Stay tuned.
That's why we're cooling our jets.
Yeah, okay, all right, so it's a different input that
Well,
you're.
we can stop for a break if somebody needs to go use
They don't
the
have to
facility or anything.
Yes, it should be item number 9. Do you want to make copies for them? It's right here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your dad was out visiting, and
Where?
he went to visit Bob Mueller, so I heard all about Jim's
Oh,
visit. and-
yeah. He just got back, he went to Arizona with me.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir.
And what do you, is your son down
My
there?
son is
Okay.
down there, yeah.
It's just
So,
Doing well yet?
to power wash.
well, not well,
Yeah.
but he made it. And I'm sure this will be it, the last. It was, you know, he moves pretty slow. He made it, he did it. And, you know, it's hard to get flying, you know, but he did really good on the plane. It's just, he has restless leg syndrome, and he has so many things wrong with him. He said, well, when I get in the tractor, you know, it won't bother me.
Well, that's what he said, that he didn't
And
know how he was
in the
getting in. but
He was in the tractor over the weekend.
He was.
Yes, he was.
That'll be the outcome.
I don't know how he gets up into the tractor or gets back out, but he got in, so.
Nobody will be able to drive the ambulance, they're gonna have to run back home.
Off duty.
There's one.
I mean, we had snow, we had snow, we had snow. It melted, my nose started running. Just as soon as that rain.
I agree.
Check the book. It was in that book. Toward the front. Wanda's, the book that Wanda's got right now.
Well, they did.
The 3-ring binder.
And you left there, they got it on. They said they could get 1 to 2 inches up there. They're all left on.
I can't remember what this one. I know we did something.
Secondary, it's like, oh, that's the wrong number.
But it's Mr. Finals house.
Yeah.
No, well, she gets a little bit off. She doesn't get a whole lot off. She's happy for what she gets.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Just like the proof.
it started out full time. 17 points. It's just too much. Never has to take
I'm gonna try to do this without falling down.
part-time.
Yeah, he likes it.
Yes.
just about fell down trying to get back
And
on
still,
the
it's
chair.
still hard because we don't do any in the summer.
They won't let me,
Wednesday, Thursday,
in the summer, for some reason, it's just their policy that first year.
We're good.
I asked them why, I said they didn't know why, and I was like, well, that sounds like a good.
No, you're even teaching anything in the summer. No, I have.
No,
I think that's alarming.
Well, there are online classes.
Yeah.
I think some of them are through USD, most of them are.
I have
There's like
extra
two, I
copies.
think, USD.
So
Yeah, part of it is they don't wanna spend the money to have a lower
That's the
body
biggest
count.
thing, that's the biggest thing,
Not one.
But it helps.
But when I asked, they told me
Put his
they
feet
didn't.
up whenever.
so, whatever, you know.
That's taken some time for me to get used to.
Okay, guys, I got 6:30. We're on to number 7, planning and zoning public hearing, 6:30 PM, draft ordinance public hearing discussion.
The ordinance number is correct, 2019-01. We started this process in January, so that would be why that is numbered. So tonight, this is, you are now the Planning and Zoning Commission, and you are taking public comments regarding the language of the ordinance. Initially, the ordinance, the items that were changed last month were confirming the setbacks, the front yard, the side, the rear, and the height. The recommendations that are in the ordinance is that the building must be on a permanent foundation. They have the pitch of the roof, what the construction of the walls should be, and the square footage. And then the item that was added last week, so last month, was minimum 200 amp electrical service required for the garage.
So are these available to people to look at?
You have one of these?
We got it.
Okay.
Gee, here's one.
I just wanna see it.
This one.
So regarding your question earlier,
That answers quite a bit right there.
that helps.
Yep, I read the
But,
answer, you
but I
don't
mean,
have to.
if you have any other questions or any other concerns,
It says, paved driveway, so if you face it towards the alley, does it, you have to pave it to the alley, is that what you're saying?
Well, it doesn't say paving,
It's not any,
gravel will be fine.
You can use gravel, yeah,
hard surface.
Hard surface.
I see.
Okay,
Just not dirt.
just not dirt, okay.
or grass.
Wow.
yeah.
Otherwise, I don't have any other questions.
So you don't have any other?
No, I've got, just,
Well, that was easy.
yeah.
Anybody else?
Well, I guess I'd have one question. A minimum size, but there is no maximum size other than meeting the setback requirements. Would that be correct?
Sure looks like it.
Yes.
I guess depending upon the width of your lot.
50-foot lot, your maximum width would be 36 feet.
7 feet from each side, but front yard, backyard, you gotta have 50 feet in front and 25 feet in back and
Yeah.
7 feet on each side.
Yeah.
So measure the lot and build her as big as you want, then
Yeah.
up to that.
Pretty
point.
much,
All right.
the only thing, the restriction you got is that 18
18
foot height.
feet, yeah.
So what the objective will be tonight, outside of taking the input from the public, will be, as a planning and zoning commission, you will recommend this language with any additional changes to the council. And then next month, you as the council will have your first reading of this ordinance.
Does anybody see any issues?
Does anybody have an issue with B? Buildings shall be oriented on the lot so the primary pedestrian entrance faces the street or access easement.
I could see that being an issue to the guy that's gonna use the alley for, using this building.
So you wouldn't be able to put the door on the side of the building. It would have to be either where the garage door is or on the end.
Well, so the primary pedestrian entrance faces the street or access easement.
So you could put your walk door toward the street and your overhead door to the back.
And
Yes.
but it says pedestrian entrance, but it could also face the access easement, which could be the
The alley.
alley,
Yeah,
right?
face the street or the access, yeah, so it could go either way.
It could go either way.
Yeah.
And would it,
I do have a question on the access. You take your street maintenance fee from the access point. So if you're using the back as an access, that means the street maintenance is going to be zero?
I don't know that that's accurate.
you still,
My assessment is not based on my access
No,
point.
it's
It's
on the
based on
front,
the curb,
your curb on the front
curb
of your house.
footage
On the front of
the
the
street
house.
side of my house.
That's the way mine is too.
It's a good question.
Maybe they have to rebate me.
You could have 4 walk-in doors.
Yeah.
You have a door on every single wall.
You
You
could,
just
yeah.
have to have the primary
Primary.
pedestrian entrance either on the front or the back. We would call it the front or the back
Call
of
it
the garage.
whatever you want. You can call it whichever one.
Yeah,
You just couldn't have one door on the side.
I agree with that. Yep. Which
One, well,
seems kind
walking door.
And if you're worried about it, just get a sign that says primary.
of, there you go.
There you go. Put pedestrian entrance. You're covered.
Are you looking it up soon?
I think it says your front curb, the street front footage. So that would be on the street, not the alley.
And there,
Because there's no curb on the alley and it's actually a curb fee.
are there any non-parallel side lots?
Non-parallel side.
In other words,
No, but
you're looking at a lot that's 50 feet wide by 150
if you
feet
have
long.
a
Correct.
lot,
These 250-foot
you have
sides.
a right to have access
always
to it
parallel?
over the
Or
curb,
is
so
there
you're in
some-
a curb.
yeah.
Oh, I see.
If you've got a 50-foot
Can't
wide
do
lot,
them
you
all?
have a 50-foot,
Well-
or a,
Because in
You're
theory,
assessed on
if
that,
they are
yeah,
parallel, the 50 feet
Yeah.
on the front is the same as the 50 feet on the back.
Beck Drive is a prime example of what you're saying. The ones going around the curve are more pie-shaped.
Okay, understood.
Hayden Circle, Hayden Drive, same thing. Our backyards are larger than our front. Just
You can
because
have
it's in a
pie-shaped
circle.
garage.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
in
a
theory, you
circle.
could have a pie-shaped garage, yeah. That'd be interesting. Well, what I was basically pointing out was the front's the same as the back. 50
Not-
feet is 50 feet, but it's not always.
Not
you know.
necessarily, no. We have a few L-shaped lots in town where, so the only time that you're gonna have the pie-shaped ones are when we have the circle drives.
Sure.
But we do have a few L-shaped parcels in town where people have probably purchased maybe a small little chunk in the back, and so now their property is no longer, I mean, the back would be longer than the front.
So there's two separate pieces here. Your special maintenance fee, which you can use for repairing or improving things like chip sealing. You can assess that on anybody that abuts the improvement, so anybody that touches the street, doesn't matter where their primary access point is. The special assessment is computed, like if I live on a corner, you're gonna ding me for the longer, whatever part of my lot is longer, but you can't ding me for the L. But again, I think it's the same deal, it's just if you abut the improvement, doesn't necessarily talk about access.
Actually, we don't do it based on the longest one, we do it on where the front door faces.
Okay. And that is allowed, so.
But that's also a dwelling, not a garage.
Correct.
Right.
So do I understand that if it's a garage, that they're immune from street maintenance fees? Is that, am I understanding it correctly?
I don't know what you're, are you talking, so the maintenance fee, no. A maintenance fee under 943-138 is anybody that abuts it. You're charged, you can be charged an annual fee to fix that improvement.
Whether it's a vacant lot
Right,
or
exactly.
Taj Mahal.
Yes.
Okay.
And they are, right? I mean, we charge every lot,
With the exception of the ones that are naturally exempt,
and that would
Excuse
be
me?
for what reason?
Churches.
city.
Oh, okay.
Exempt.
Exempt, I understand.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Mayor, would you like a motion?
Yes,
or
I would.
Is there other input?
Okay.
Well, I make a motion that we recommend draft ordinance 2019-01, an ordinance of the city of Alcester, South Dakota, amending the 2018 revised Alcester zoning regulations by amending chapter 4.03 R residential district conditional uses, chapter 4.09 R residential district lot area, yard, and height regulations, chapter 10.11 site-built, single-family detached, single-family attached, and multi-family dwelling standards, and chapter 19.02 definitions and definitions.
I will second Dave's motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Now, this needs to be approved by the council twice, right?
Yes, we will have our first reading in June. And you will be acting as the council and no longer planning commission.
Okay. All right. Then, we're down to number 10, and it's, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, 9.
I would make a motion to enter executive session pursuant to SDCL 1-25-2-1.
And it's 6.
Who seconded it?
Who seconded, yeah.
Linda did.
6:43.
6:43, is that what we're gonna call it?
6:43, we're in executive session. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Now, we're opening the new city council. we are opening
Right there, cause I'm gonna have to say that.
Did you guys make a?
Okay, Minister,
No motion was made except for to adjourn.
Okay, I
And
didn't
that's-
get that.
yeah,
That motion was made at,
7:22, we made a motion to adjourn. Or two, yeah, out of executive session, 7:22.
Okay.
Yeah, 7:20, we were out of executive session. Or did I
Oh.
get that, did I get that?
7:20.
I got 7:22. What time did we adjourn?
To be exact.
7:23.
Thank you.
7:22, 7:23
Okay.
adjourned.
Correct.
Okay.
And so now, Mr. Mayor, you have,
Administer oath of office.
Okay, so, Tom, Linda, Dan, Darla, you can please stand. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I,
I,
Daniel Hayden,
Do solemnly swear
Do
solemnly swear
I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of South Dakota,
and the Constitution of the State of South Dakota,
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of Alderman in the ward I was elected in
in Alderman in the ward I was elected in
for the term I was elected to
for the term I was elected to
for the city of Alcester,
for the city of Alcester,
Union County, South Dakota,
Union County, South Dakota,
to which office I have been duly elected.
To which
to which office I have been duly elected.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, and then, if you can all, Pat, you got your note right?
Yes.
You can stand up so you can see them all sign, you can sign your oath, Pat will notarize those and seal them. When we're all done, we can move on.
Okay. Elect a council president and vice president. Do we have Dan was president? Were you vice president?
That's entirely possible.
The way it was.
Okay, that's the way it was. So let's get a new or shouldn't say a new, if you wanna keep the same ones, you can.
I would make a motion that we leave everything the same,
I will second it.
with everybody's agreement with it. Yeah.
Are they okay with it? Both
You
of them?
okay with
So,
that, Dan?
I would take president position again.
You okay, David?
Yeah.
Okay,
We need
okay.
One at a time,
Yeah,
so
you
somebody.
can't
Okay,
do it
council
together.
president would be for Dan.
Okay.
Okay, so you make a motion for,
I make a motion that Dan Heater be council president. Or
I'll
be
second
nominated, yeah.
I'll second it.
okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to elect council vice president.
I would move that Dave be elected as vice president.
I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I
Motion carried.
abstain, Pat.
Okay, you abstain. So we got 5 yes, 1 abstain. Okay. All right. We have in here, council committee. Everybody should have one of these for the new year. What I tried to do is give everybody a chair position, and I tried to keep at least one person in the same, like Parks and Pool or wherever that was in there at least last year.
Is this open for discussion?
Yeah, I suppose.
Can I ask why I was removed from finance and budget and public safety?
I just try to move people around as much as I could, so that somebody doesn't have to do the same thing time after time.
Is there something I did wrong in the
No,
budget?
no, it
So
isn't.
if I wanted to stay
What
where
I
it was,
do, I
I'm
take
not
the
allowed to
last
do that?
year's paper, the last year's committees, and I go down and we have, everybody is on 4 different committees. And I try to break it out as the best I can, so that I give everybody a chairperson and everybody in a different committee that I can.
So you change it every year?
Yeah,
Swap these two, should stay on finance and budget.
I don't care if you wanna change. If you wanna change something, go ahead.
Can I talk?
Do you wanna say something? Or?
I kinda do, but can I, Mayor? Can I talk? Maybe not.
I don't know if you heard you.
Well,
No.
Can he talk?
Can the chief of police offer input?
public input. Did you wanna switch?
I'll swap with Melissa on finance and budget, and I'll take liquor store. If that's acceptable to Melissa.
I'm not picking on anybody, I just try to do this the best way I possibly can.
I was just surprised. I wasn't sure what
No,
what went
there's
into
not, there's,
the process.
that's the process. It's,
Kinda arbitrary.
you wanna.
It's just weird because like, you know, this, electing vice president, let's keep everything the same.
Yeah.
Apparently, we're not keeping everything.
If
the
you
same.
wanna make those 2 changes, it's all right with me. Does everybody
I
agree?
was public safety chair prior, I wasn't sure why I had to switch, if there was a reason for it, or.
It's just, no, there's no reason for it. I'm not picking on anybody, I'm just putting people in different positions, that's what I was trying to do.
Not that I don't wanna work with Lonnie on the streets and all, it's just.
Doesn't bother me.
Well, I think it does make sense that things are moved around on occasion, and I don't have a problem with either way. But
Do
You
you wanna
were-
change that? If you wanna change that, tell me now, we'll change it, otherwise we'll just leave it like it is.
I would like to be where I was last year with your permission, Mr. Mayor.
You wanna be where we were last year on each department?
Last year I was chair of finance and budget and I was chair of public safety.
Well,
I mean, if you wanna take me off, that's fine, I would just like an explanation other than,
If
There's
we're
no
gonna
reason
do
for
that,
it.
I'm gonna have to hold these till next time, and I'll have to redo the whole thing, cause I can't. I'm not gonna make all those changes here. If you wanna make one change and get put back on finance and move Lance down to the liquor store somewhere, I'm okay with that, but otherwise, I don't wanna be moving everything around on here.
I guess it doesn't matter to me whether we leave it all the same. And then, the only thing is we do need to be willing to change anything.
I am willing to change, I'm just saying if I have a say in the matter and if my preference is considered at all, that is my preference. If that is not your will, I am more than happy to do what you have spelled out here.
Like I say, I'm not picking on you, I'm not picking on anybody. You take these things, I struggle with this, and anybody that's ever done this thing knows that it isn't an easy thing to do. Do you wanna make that one change on the finance committee? If you wanna do that, we'll do that, but I don't wanna change everything on
But
this.
not public safety. I'm just clarifying that that's what you're saying.
Do you wanna go to public
She
safety?
wants both of them, right? Am I right?
Correct, like I said, if we get any say in the matter, that is my preference. And if I don't get any say in the matter, I will.
Okay, so you wanna be on the public safety committee, is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Well, I can switch. You know, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me.
And I think this is what the chief wanted to discuss, and if he doesn't, if that's not okay, then we'll just move on.
I mean, I'm willing to change.
So, tell me what you wanna change and we'll change it. I really don't care.
I'm gonna put you here on both.
As I said, I would prefer that it be the way it was last year, and if that is not
Do we have the old, do you have an old one from last
Plausible,
year?
It's
I
in
will
this-
do what you want me
It's
to
in
do.
the purple book on the counter. Thank you.
Would everybody be acceptable if we just
Sure.
make up,
Sure.
just
Yes.
redo the last
Yes.
years and just
Yes.
go with
Go
that?
with that, yes.
Is that acceptable to everybody? Okay, just throw these away.
You'll get us new ones?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep, that's acceptable.
Okay, then, Wanda, can you do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
all right, then we'll be done with that. Public input? Do you have any public input?
The only thing I was gonna bring up was just, I didn't know these changes were coming about. You know, it takes a year to get in a groove with a public safety chair, that's all I was gonna get at. There's a lot of communication, public safety is, it's just a whole different animal than, there's a lot more oversight. We're dealing with guns and people's freedoms, and I appreciate the hard work Melissa's done on it. It truly becomes somebody where I bounce ideas off of. That was all I was gonna say, Mayor. Not to undermine you or anything, it's a tough position, and appreciate the work that she's done, and I just hope going in the future that I could have her as somebody to bounce ideas off of and stuff. That was it. And it was nothing against you, Lance. I just found out about it tonight, so.
I'm still there,
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Um,
bounce away.
But I mean, I probably text Melissa, and she texts me probably every couple of days, you know, that's all.
No, I understand.
Okay, all right. Any other public input? No? Okay. Alcester Fire Department, Pat?
Yeah, we had a fire a few weeks ago, and when we went to use the hydrant, it worked like we would have wanted it to work. I had a hard time getting it open. Since then, I know Lonnie and Dale have been working on them and, you know, getting them repaired, but I see a problem in the fact that we don't have a, what's our maintenance plan on them? What's our, it used to be summer, spring, fire department went out, we flushed them, we'd let them know which ones were bad. I don't need to be doing that, that's not what I'm here for. I mean, I just think we need to have, I don't know, if we have dates whenever you're gonna flush them, how you're gonna do this, if the public should be notified, you know, because it is gonna turn your water brown, A. And then B, you know, if there is a problem, that should be documented, you know, what was fixed, when it was fixed, when it's ready for us to go. If there's a hydrant that isn't gonna work for us, I think they should be bagged, coned, I don't care what. Just
Some
'cause
indicator.
yeah, you know, you tell me this, I'm gonna forget, in the heat of moment, I'm not gonna remember this. But if everyone on the department knows, they come up and they see a cone or a bag or whatever, hey, we can't use this one. But, like I said, I think for ISO ratings and everything else, we need to have some type of, you know, documentation of, we tested it on this date, it worked on this date, then everybody knows it, you know, versus when was the last time this was used? You know, that's kind of what's going on, I see, so.
Is there, the valving, is that something that should be cracked once a year, once every 2 years?
When I got on the,
Lubricated with something, you know, just to.
I know Lonnie said they have been lubricating them, right? I mean, just, and now they're but I know in the past, we used to go out fall, spring and flush them, and like I said,
Everyone in town.
we'd go, yeah, on Monday night, usually we'd do it on Monday, you know, meeting night, we'd go out, flush the hydrants, and, you know, if we found one that we couldn't open, or opened hard, shut hard, or if the water didn't go back down in the hydrant, then we know there's a problem with it. And that's my main concern was, here we got hydrants and, you know, are they all working? You know, and without, like I said, without a, I don't care if it's a spreadsheet, if it's a whatever, some type of record that this was tested on this date and it worked, you know, and I think, I don't know what we used to be fall and spring, if that's the right answer, I guess, I don't know if that's the right answer, is there?
I went through minutes for the last 20 years recently, and I did notice in those minutes that it used to be that used to be the norm and it would end up in the minutes when they were flushed, and recently I haven't noticed it. I wish I could say why.
Yeah, and I know it,
don't know why.
it all started, I think, when the Topeka Shiners, we used to get told not to run water. And then a lot of this kind of, fall on the wayside, you forget about it, and now we're in the situation we're in. It's basically, so I wanted to bring it up that we probably need to enact something, like I said.
So when it was done on a relatively regular basis, who actually did the flushing?
Firemen did when I first got on the fire department, yes. It was fall and spring.
How long has it been since the fire department has done it twice a year? You know,
Years?
Yeah, it's
I know.
more than 5.
Yeah, I know Lonnie and Dale have been working on them for a couple of weeks, ever since they found out one of them didn't work. And that's a tough way to find out that we do have a problem, but I know they are getting them.
But I know not exercising them is not the answer either. We can't wait till we have a problem.
No, they do need.
No, that's a sad.
That's what I'm getting at. Something needs to be in place.
So the fire department doesn't wanna do it anymore then?
If we're asked to do it, we'll do it. We are volunteers, I mean,
Yeah.
we'll do it on a meeting night.
Yeah, I
we'll do it.
remember they always did them on Monday nights.
I remember that.
We'll do it again, but I would, I think
You
that
just
should
need
be
they need to communicate.
some decision needs to be made that, and I'm in no power to be making a decision, we're going out on this Monday night and doing it, I think that should be a city, there's city hydrants, they should be a city, you want it done on this date and you'd ask us to do it, we'll do it, but.
So you've got a monthly Monday night,
We meet twice a month,
twice a month,
first and third,
first and third Mondays.
yeah. Most of the time, we're working on our stuff, and we have,
Takes a few hours to do this, I would think.
oh yeah,
You just send a couple of guys at each,
yep.
you go that way, you go that way, take care of this street, that street, that
And
street. Yeah.
Just keep going till they're done.
Lonnie, do you know how many hydrants we have in town?
51 or 2.
How many, chief, how many people do you have at a meeting typically?
Got 23 firemen right now,
But you don't have
Some-
enough wrenches to to
no,
send.
we don't.
So you'll,
But some of these hydrants, I know it might take 2 guys to get it open, in the past, it's not supposed to be that way, but it is sometimes, it is what it is.
how many have you and Dale had a chance to
We
check on?
rebuilt 2 and put a whole new top on the 3rd one.
But
How many have you
From the
flushed?
ground up. How many have we flushed?
yeah,
Only what we've worked on and a few
Oh.
others.
3 or 4 then.
The problem is if Dale and I do, it's gonna take all week to do it, so you're gonna
Yeah.
have brown water all week.
So we would gladly help.
Yeah.
And we'll come help.
It's good training even, for us even, just.
Oh,
There wasn't a rule change of something like
No, it was more or less the Topeka Shiner thing, we were told, this goes back a lot of years, they told us they didn't want us flushing. I don't know if that's as big an issue nowadays.
It is, but we have the apparatus for the hydrants that will dump our storm intake. Those are the ones we gotta worry about, the other ones, the water travels so far before it gets into a stream or an intake, then it's supposedly the chlorine's evaporated out of it.
Basically, when we
Dale
stopped it.
knows these specs a lot more than I, and if you dump them into a yard or into a tank, then it's a whole nother deal you don't have to worry about either, so. But if you dump them onto a yard, you're probably gonna erode the yard. For as long as they need to be run,
How long is recommended running a meeting open?
about 10 minutes.
Good.
But if you're gonna do like the whole kit and caboodle in one night, say half the guys are on one side, half are on the other side, we're probably gonna deplete the water tower pretty good. But, I wouldn't think you'd need to completely run them clear. You could keep moving and then when you get to the last one, let that one run for a long time. But we're never gonna get it all clear. It's gotta,
what you're really kind of doing is exercising the valves.
Yeah.
So technically speaking, while it's wise to run it so that it is clear, at least moving some water will help.
Correct,
And
that's-
like you say, you exercise those valves, let it run for 2 minutes, shut it off, like you say, at the end of
We
the
used to
line,
do it, it was probably not,
let her buck.
it wasn't like a 10-minute, like you say, we never would've got to 51 and.
No, 5
Oh.
minutes would probably be plenty.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, I'm sure it wasn't more than, in reality, probably 2 or 3
Yeah,
minutes, and
yeah.
it was,
That's a lot of water.
you're running it and you're thinking, yep, like he said,
Get the initial,
and then also we'd watch for, like you said, when you shut a hydrant, the water will actually drain back down, and if
Right.
it doesn't drain back down, then there's an issue, so.
and we're gonna find more hydrants. There's hydrants, I can put grease and oil, everything I want in the top, but they need to be taken apart because the grease that's in there is basically almost a soft rust,
Compacted, yeah.
so.
So does that have to be done before they can do anything?
Well, we aren't gonna know which ones they are until we operate them,
Okay.
so that's probably actually a good time. 'Cause when we do this, then we'll know. And if there's one really hard to turn, just tell the guys just shut it back and don't even mess with it, we'll go get it. Takes about 2 to 3 hours to rebuild the top of the hydrant, so.
Could the fire department guys go out and check them and then just get the ones that are working fine, the ones that aren't, let Dale or
That's what we've done
or
in the
let
past.
Lonnie know, and then they can go and see if they can get them fixed, and then we can, that way you wouldn't be spending a whole lot of time, you just.
That's what we've done in the past,
But just get them all checked in town, tell him the ones that aren't working, and then Lonnie and you can go over there and work on them and see if we can get them going. Is that reasonable?
That's what we've done in the past, but I also, like I said, I think if something's repaired or the date we test them, this needs to be.
It's gotta be
Somewhere.
documented, that's
Yes.
the key, the communication has to
I
be.
think
Yeah.
to cover you, I mean, with the ISO ratings, that way when they walk in and they ask questions, what are you doing as a town? Because the ISO, that's your insurance rating, that's what you're gonna pay for insurance. You can hand them that documentation, that's gonna show you're being proactive.
Well, if you guys can do that, and then let Dale know, I think we can get through this pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah.
Or let Lonnie know, I'm sorry.
So could we do this in maybe May and November,
Probably,
or May and October or something?
yeah, I mean,
You don't wanna do it when there's gonna be snow or ice or.
no, I agree, and then also, if you're gonna do that, you probably wanna give time for them, if it's October, maybe in the fall. If you do find one that's bad, if it freezes, it ain't gonna do no good. Or,
Yeah, you wanna fix it before it gets too cold.
Did you say it has to be done twice a year?
September
we
would be
used
better
to,
than
I don't know if
October.
it has to be done twice a year, I don't know if
They
there's any.
still recommend twice a year.
Twice a year.
Doesn't have to be done 6 months apart, though, it could be April and September, so you've got
Yeah,
good weather for both of them too.
yeah.
Right, right.
Okay.
And what do you need from us, Pat?
I just
Pick a
want-
date, or you wanna
Yeah,
pick a
you
date
pick
and
a
let us
date,
know?
you pick a date, let us know, or what, I'm up for anything, I'm just wanted to make this aware that we've fallen way behind on it, and
So first Monday, third Monday of any one month, we can
yes, if
say,
you
Pat,
contact,
we're-
Can you do it the first Monday of next month?
let's see, June, or,
That'd be May,
that'd be May.
it'd be June already.
Yeah,
When are they gonna fill the pool?
That's next week.
May 15th.
So do we wanna, if we
Yeah,
don't want
we're
brown
gonna-
water in
We're gonna have the tower completely empty next week, so
so do you have a preferred date of when?
really if you, let's see, when's your next meeting? 2 weeks?
yeah.
2 weeks would work if it works for you guys, unless you got a planned training already.
I don't,
Should be the 20th.
yeah, I think I can get,
And I'll go and help.
Yeah, the PD can, PD can add 2 guys to play firefighter.
I'll go back to the meeting tonight and let everybody
I'll
know,
go
I
stay.
think we
Yeah.
can do it.
So May 20?
Would that be with me?
It's
Yeah.
May 20.
Yeah, we'll plan it.
Yeah, will you let me know for sure and I'll get some
Yeah,
on
if
the
something
paper.
changes, then I'll let you.
So then you can notify the city.
I'll know
that water's
tonight,
gonna
I'll
be
know
brown.
tonight, and I'll just, I can pretty much say we're gonna do it, I don't see nothing else coming up.
All right, let's go with that, the changes, okay.
Who's
All right.
keeping the record?
Yeah.
We'll get a spreadsheet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I don't.
You guys just keep some notes and just get it to.
Well, yeah, we'll get you the notes and,
And we'll keep the records. It works.
yeah,
And you can have copies of the records too.
well, I don't really need that, I just wanna make sure, I'm more thinking that if next time we do an ISO rating, then we'd have, that's another piece
Well,
that we can show them that we're being proactive in this town.
So, well, after you get it done, Lonnie, you get your spreadsheet, bring copies for us to a meeting report it.
All right.
Thanks.
That
I think
hydrant
also
is-
too, what I was gonna say, I think also documenting would cover if there is, an issue. We checked it on this date, it worked, but today it didn't. Whatever happened in the meantime, it happens.
The one that didn't
things
work.
happen.
Right, things happen, but as long as you have some way of saying we did,
Yeah.
But the one that didn't work on the last fire possibly had been 5 years since that hydrant had been cracked.
I think it was within 5 years. I was on the department when we last did that, and I did it once after that, and kinda messed my shoulder up on that hydrant, so.
Okay.
I got everything,
It was known, it was just, I didn't know how to take a fire hydrant apart at the time.
Okay,
Got overlooked, so.
yeah, and it worked for us, it was just, we didn't have, I couldn't get it all the way open. I got to a point I couldn't, and I was by myself, and I couldn't get it anymore.
Is it working right now?
Yeah. Yeah, you can turn it one finger now.
okay. Fire scholarship, school scholarship.
I just wanted to, I came last year and asked, I brought some information here, I was not able to attend the meeting, I was at a weather spotting meeting. In the last 5 years, I've started attending fire schools. I've learned to write grants, I've learned a lot of techniques, how to fight fires better, everything from fixing stuff to whatever. The first few years, we paid for it out of our pocket, and then we got more and more people interested in going. This year I have 8 people going. I got 4 new firemen that are going, and they're going to take a class. It's 2 days, a 16-hour-long class of training, basically introductory to firefighter all the way to landing in a live burn trailer. So, I mean, fire school is really good. I think it's something you can learn and everything else, but we're on a limited budget. We're running old trucks and everything else. We spend meetings fixing stuff. I'm just hoping to get some help with, if you've sponsored a fireman or whatever else, however we gotta go about this, cause I'm looking at right now, it's gonna be it is $80 for someone to go to attend fire school. The hotel rooms are $170.44 a night. So basically, I'm paying $420 per fireman to go. And then my wife and me will be there for an extra night because she's on the fire auxiliary board, and that's gonna be $600. So with 8 firemen, I guess I didn't figure all that out, but it's gonna be a little bit of money that we gotta come up with.
$170 a night?
Yeah.
What is that?
They up the hotel
They
rooms
see
when
it.
people go.
It's Holiday Inn, it's not even, yeah, it's every one of them, they know.
I just got back from a convention at Marriott and they gave you a special rate.
I think they, it's $154 is what they quoted me, and then I got to looking into the fine line, and it's $170 with all the extra taxes they throw on.
Do you ask them for the government rate?
Yeah, they don't matter,
They don't do
they know
that.
what's going on, it's fire school and every room's booked. And I
Yeah,
had
they booked the whole.
I had to book these rooms back in December.
Okay.
If you don't book, you don't get rooms out there, so,
Where do you go, Pat?
Mitchell. They've moved, well, it's been in Mitchell, this will be the 3rd year in Mitchell, I think I went to Sioux Falls the first time, they've pretty much moved, the fire school for the next, I don't know how many years Mitchell, cause it's kinda central, they got enough hotel rooms in the Mitchell school, Mitchell Tech they use all the facilities there for the classes. So it's a good setup, I mean, they've got people coming and, like I learned to write grants there, that's how I got my grants for the air packs a few years ago. I met a good grant writer that, I write my stuff, I give it to her, she makes it look pretty. So, I mean, but I would've never met her and I wouldn't have, like the air packs we used at this last fire, we wouldn't have them. And I'm working right now, to get bunker gear. And I'm looking at, right now, I need 50 grand probably in the next 2 years to pay for bunker gear. Most of our bunker gear is 9 to 10 years old. It's, on the bottom end, it's about $2,500 a head. And that's buying bottom end, you know, nothing fancy gear. And it is what it is. And I'm, like I said, I'm writing grants and trying to do what I can to fund this thing down there, but anything like in the future, if it's not this year, if you guys can help out in any way.
So just to make sure I got your math right, you're at 8 people need to go, is that
Yes.
correct?
7 are staying the $420, whatever it is, and then me and my wife are staying, whatever, it'd be just short of $600, so.
Okay, so that's about $3,300 plus what you guys need for your extra night.
Yeah, and we'll come up with a way.
So, what are you asking for? Cause you throwing out a lot of numbers all the way up to 50 grand, so I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to.
What are you asking for
I'm just
tonight?
trying to, sponsor firemen.
Okay,
You know, if you guys sponsor one fireman, that'd be great. I'm trying to let you know in the future, this is what we're facing. I've never got a chance to speak to any of you. I just want you to know what's going on
okay.
and the hurdles I'm facing, you know.
When is the school, Pat?
June 7th, 8th, 9th, I believe. Yeah. It's Thursday, Friday, I gotta be there, we go on a Thursday night, we spend the night Thursday because the classes start at 8 in the morning.
6, 7.
6, 7, 8, so then most everybody else goes home on Saturday when they're done with classes, and then we have to stay. My wife has a short meeting Sunday morning, and we have to help clean up, so.
So Pat, is there some place we can get $420?
Oh, yes.
Is that, we wanna do the minimum, do we wanna do more than one? I mean,
Well, okay, first of all, let me just stop everybody and just say, we can't act on this.
I know.
However, we can have this discussion, and we can even discuss it a little bit right now, but we can't act on this. All we can do is postpone this until next meeting, or the next meeting, and then have it as an agenda item, where we can act on it. But I think these are all good questions.
It is an agenda.
Yeah, it is an
If you
agenda
wanted
item.
to act on it.
We could actually have a,
Yeah, we can put a motion in.
It is 6B, so.
okay,
Yes.
well, I stand corrected. I said,
budget wise,
I would take it out of second heavy.
how many can we sponsor?
You could, if my math is correct, 3546 would be all of them,
And that's including
including
extra night.
extended stay for the chief.
I think that one I'm gonna have covered, so I would just,
So 3360.
yeah,
So then the 420
Times the 8, that's
88
what
times 7, 2946.
And
I wouldn't be in favor of doing all of them, I'm sorry. Without, you know, maybe next year when you put it in the budget, but I don't think we should.
and I'm okay with that, I just, something, you know, to help us out would be great.
You want to do half?
half.
1500?
I'll make a motion, we sponsor 2 firemen to go to the fire school in June.
I will second David's motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
With the understanding this comes from the second penny.
what is the dollar amount then? What was it,
$840.
$420?
$840. Okay, is there any further discussion?
I would just like for discussion to say in the future, let's get it in the budget for next year to do a little more for them.
If they go to it once, Pat, do they go back or no?
I got, me and 2 other have been going, we're trying to change it out. I would stay back personally if I could, but my wife has now gotten involved with the state auxiliary.
Oh, no,
And
I'm just
I-
wondering
but I-
if it's an ongoing thing. You
Yes,
know.
I'm trying to, and I would never bring more than 8. This is
Oh,
probably, it's really cutting us thin, but I got 4 new ones that wanna attend this class. So.
Well, I just wondered how it worked, cause.
No, it was kinda drew up in the air who wanted to go, and the guys that have been going wanted to go, and then we had 4 new ones that,
Well, that's fine.
and
Just wondered how.
like
it
I
worked.
said, in the future, it's not gonna be any more than this, and I'm also, looking at, we're gonna have to start rotating, getting other new people, so.
They have different classes every year. They
It's
got a whole
different
list.
every, it's
Yeah, it's
like a
di-
conference.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's,
Okay.
and they have different classes. You can pick and choose different classes to go to every year. They have different people come in, they bring in burn trailers and,
Okay,
I
I just
didn't-
wondered how it worked.
Yeah, it's,
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve $840 to send these people to the school scholarship.
I'll second.
We
Already
already
got a
Sorry,
motion and a
my
second.
Dave made
Discussion.
motion,
Yeah,
Lance second.
Okay, all in favor?
Dave made the motion, who's second?
Lance.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Alcester ambulance. John.
all right. I know the first thing that is on the thing is snow removal. We had a lot of snow piled around our station this year. I mean, we kinda came down, talked. I had people complain to me that at that stop sign, they couldn't see down the road. We couldn't see when we pulled out with the ambulance. I don't know if there's a plan for next year for the snow, but we can't have it all piled up there. I mean, it'd get pushed back onto a sidewalk, and then we're trying to clear the pack on the sidewalk from the snow removal. And like I said, people just couldn't see when they were coming up to that corner there, and then we couldn't see when we're pulling out with the ambulance. It becomes a public safety issue. And I don't know if there's an answer for it, or what the answer would be, but, I mean, just on that corner there, it was kinda sketchy.
What was
But they
it?
do haul the pile in short order, don't they?
It was
It was
a
there
couple
almost.
weeks.
It was there that
But
long.
it
Yeah.
wasn't always the city guys that did this.
No, I realize-
Remember, right, it's the guys that are down cleaning these sidewalks
I-
early in the morning. that are
I
doing
realize that, but I mean,
Yeah.
maybe they should be stopped from pushing it down there too.
I agree with that.
It's not just the city guys, it's everybody, and it all seems to pile up on the ambulance station's lot. We have to pick rocks every year out of the yard to try and clean that up. It just becomes a mess, and like I said, I don't know what the answer is, but I think we need to come up with some sort of a solution, cause like I said, that corner was dangerous this year. So,
Maybe we can or ask the people that are cleaning off the sidewalks to push it in the middle of the street where
Yeah,
in the city, and that's
They
where
have
you
to watch
first go,
too
isn't
when
it?
they pile it in the middle of the street, because we have to be able to get out
Yeah.
and be able to go that direction, because we had it
Yeah.
piled up to where we had to come out, go around the snowbank to go up to Highway 11, to go either north or south out of
Yeah.
town,
we
We need
gotta
a
be clear in
driveway
front of the
break.
ambulance station.
so we can get in and out.
Lonnie, can I put you on the spot? What's your opinion?
I started putting it down there, they push it out to the middle and I push it all the way down there. So I started doing that to help us save some money, to be honest, because it costs a lot to haul it out. And if I can push as much of it off of Main Street, right now I'm pushing this whole side off of Main Street, including Iowa. And then, so basically I'm taking from the center down here, all the way down to that block. And, we used to put it in the middle, and it was just as bad looking around them corners. But the reason I started putting it on the side was to help us save some money. So, and we hired contractor once this year. And typically it's quite a bit more now. So that, I don't know, I can put it back in the middle, but then you still got people trying to get out of the post office, the 100 cars a day that go there. I don't have a solution. There's nowhere to go with it. So it goes where I push it right now.
Is there somewhere we can haul it to?
Just to be hauled.
Well, we can, but it's 2 guys, and if I've got contract help,
Right.
and then to haul it in a timely manner, we hire somebody. So, I mean, I hauled a lot of it off on my own with the loader across the East Lutheran's valley down there, so it could just melt and go away eventually, so. since that's our lot through there. I mean, if I could push it all the way there, I would. But it gets to be a lot of snow.
Well, the snow was nobody's fault, and
But at least could they do something to make it, that end be done first, so it doesn't pile up there?
Well,
Because
that's,
there
but
is-
see, that's where he's pushing it
Yeah,
all
yeah.
to, is the
That's the
problem.
only thing we haul away now, is the
Right.
lower pile.
Right.
So, I mean, I could try to push it farther, but then you're talking the end of
Right,
Highway
and then
11.
you're at to 11.
I'm
And
kinda limited on space down there. The middle works, it just,
we just, as far as the ambulance goes, when it's in the middle, we just need to be able to pull through. Cause, I mean, when we're trying to get on a call, we gotta go, you know? And that's, I mean, we couldn't get through the one time and then it's all piled up and we can't see when we're pulling out, you know? It just, and I know, snow's a pain. I wish we didn't have to deal with it, but unfortunately we do.
Well, I'm sure Lonnie will do the best he can with it. We got hopefully a few months to,
I
we
hope
have to
so.
worry about it again.
I hope so.
Okay. Do you have any other?
I had a couple other things. One thing was the water bill. I know we're paying for it, but it's aggravating because we are a volunteer organization. We run off of donations and whatever we make when we make a run. We're, as far as I can tell, from the research I've done, we're the only volunteer service in South Dakota that pays for their water bill. We had that water meter that went bad. I know it was tested, but that fixed it when you guys replaced the water meter. And then we had to pay for the water meter and pay for the big bill for the month. It just, I mean, like Pat was saying, it's expensive to be a fire or an ambulance organization. I mean, it costs a lot of money. And on that, I would like to ask for some more money from the city for the ambulance. We have an old ambulance, we're gonna have to get a new one soon, that's $200,000. And I'm not asking for the whole, but a little bit here and there helps, and a little bit more would help a little more. I mean, it costs, to train one person to go to EMT camp, to become an EMT is between $800 and $1,000. And every 2 years, you gotta have 24 hours of continuing education. That's going to conferences, that's in-house training, that's everything around that you can get to. We ran a little over 100 calls last year, and I know we didn't crew for all of them. We gotta come up with a solution for that too. But I know if the ambulance can't run anymore, Beersford's gotta come over, and they don't wanna do that. And if we don't have Beersford, then Haywarden comes over, and they don't wanna do that. I mean, we're all public servants here. I mean, we are. And I hate to come asking for money, but unfortunately, it's something I have to do once in a while. So, I would like to come up with some sort of a solution or a proposal or something. I don't have anything in mind right now, money figure wise, but I mean, if anybody has a suggestion or,
About how much is your water bill?
Yeah.
our water bill every month is, I don't know what it is every month, but we had that one where something was broken.
Probably $35, $40 tops.
Yeah, that month it was broken, it was over $300, I know, and then we had to replace the water meter. And like I said, I know it was tested, but that ended up fixing it. I mean, we didn't do anything different, we changed nothing. So,
In 2017, I have their history for a year and it's right at $35 a month.
okay,
So it's the minimum. They don't even, they use right around 200. In the summer, they water, so.
we do water a little bit here and there, it's not, I mean, we don't go overboard when we do water.
So your winter months, your non-summer months
Right,
are
yep.
under 200 gallons and your summer months are 900 gallons,
Yeah,
so.
so $400 a year is their total water bill.
yeah,
Well, probably a little more than that.
360 plus 60 before 20. If you're talking $35 a month for 12 months.
I mean, I don't think it's an amount that's gonna make or break the city either way. I mean, I guess I don't know how everybody else feels about it.
I'd say give them the water bill, give them the water.
Does the fire department pay for their water?
No.
Water? They do not have to, but the ambulance does. Why is that then?
The ambulance charges for their services, and the firemen do not.
We do charge for our services, but we're also coming to a point now where people who don't have insurance can't pay. I mean, we ran,
And there's a lot of insurances that don't pay.
yeah, it's getting to a point where if we don't dot our i's and cross our t's perfectly when we do our reports, which is easy to miss a thing here and there, you don't get paid. I mean, and there's no do-overs, there's nothing like that. It's getting tougher to be a volunteer EMT. And like I said, we're looking at trying to buy a new ambulance in the next couple of years, which like I said is a $200,000 bill. You know, so
Okay, would somebody, well, I think we're, got some ideas here that you should be getting your water taken care of. Is somebody gonna be available when we build a budget for 2020 to figure out if there's something else that we need to do?
yeah, we can sit down on our next meeting, talk about it. Our next meeting is Monday night, and we can.
We're basically spending everything that we can take in taxes.
Okay.
So we just need to figure out how to reallocate things or
We-
allocate things.
We can come up with ideas, and if you guys have ideas, and I know, I mean, like I said, you guys ran on taxes, I understand that.
This process starts in July.
Okay,
Has to be done by the end of September.
yeah, we do. Well, yeah, okay, so,
That's the time.
so from July to September, we have to come up with whatever,
There
Okay.
will be meetings of a committee
okay,
to build the budget.
okay.
And we may be asking somebody to come and,
I will be available for whatever meeting you guys need, or somebody will be,
okay.
so. And like I said, we're open to ideas too, we don't have anything set in stone right now, we just,
Same thing with the fire department.
Can you
Yeah,
get a
I-
grant for,
we can get some grants, but then again, it's a lot of work.
Hard
to
to,
write.
and it's a lot of work writing a grant.
You almost gotta go the route I did. and
Yeah.
find- I have a grant writer, and like I said,
Yeah.
I write it, but she gets 5% of whatever but she doesn't get a dime until she,
Is awarded.
approval.
yeah, so that's why I like her. If you're gonna, I'm not spending money until
Right.
then I have
Yeah.
something, so.
Which, I mean, we're open to looking into getting a grant writer. We have wrote a few grants, we got a new cot last year off of a grant. We've gotten a few things off of grants, but like I said, it is tough to get, everything's got.
Vehicles are very hard.
Vehicles, and that's the other thing, he's trying to write how many grants for vehicles now?
That's, yeah,
We know.
it's really hard.
We're in the same.
PPE is very, when it comes to that side of it, PPE, you know, bunker gear, like I said, our SCBA's, it's a lot easier to get that. That's why I focus on that. I learned that, focus on the things you can win and then pay for the things you can't.
Okay, so are you guys wanting to do something on this water bill, or what do we
Did you want to talk about what we talked about the other day, or save that for another day, or save it for another day?
Yeah, can we act on it tonight, or is this something we need to put in the new budget, that we eliminate the water bill for the ambulance service?
You'll have to do a supplement to the budget because it was not built in initially.
So we do it, the supplement now or in December?
You can do it in December.
Okay, all right.
How much was it a year about?
420, 440.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you.
Street, swimming
Whoa,
pool.
whoa,
Oh,
Did we want to do that now, or do you want
we're gonna have to wait and see.
I don't know how you wanna handle it.
make an agenda item in June
Yeah. I think we should.
Yeah.
and act on it
We're
then?
gonna get the money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right. Street, swimming pool updates, Lonnie?
I don't have a whole lot street area.
We got confirmation about the guys coming,
The road guy signed about Louisa. Did you talk to them?
I have not talked with them yet, the road guy's ready, so you want me to talk to Wiser or do you want?
Yeah, I was hoping you would, because then you can, you still got his info that I sent you.
Yes.
Yeah, if we get that signed, and then we'll be hopefully good to go.
Okay.
So the road guy agreed to all the,
Agreed to move it to between July 15th and August 15th. So we moved it, yeah, we just gotta get Louisa on board. And Louisa is, it's not a are they coming, it's a when, right? Isn't that where we're at with them?
Yeah, we're on their calendar for the
Okay.
15th of July, and I'm sure he'll be willing to move that back a week if we want him to. If it works
Okay.
with him. So he's pretty flexible.
Anything on the swimming pool?
Swimming pool will be filled middle of next week.
Okay.
I guess I'll just kinda touch on the water department now, but we'll fill that with the water tower. Water tower will be going out of service next Tuesday morning probably. So we'll be on rural water, straight up, and they'll put a pressure relief gauge basically down here at the wastewater plant. And we're taking that down for inspection on the water tower. And at the same time, we have a hydrant there that's leaking from the bottom of the hydrant, like underground. It's letting water come up, we're gonna fix that, and there's a valve that shuts that hydrant off that is not working, so we're gonna have to fix that at the same time. And hopefully that all works out. But Dan Waterman will be here next Wednesday to do that, so.
Okay. Does Dale have anything?
Pretty much just about the water tower probably.
Okay.
Water tower, we should be starting to fill it back up on Wednesday evening. As long as the inspection goes good.
If there was a call, we'd have to notify them to turn the pressure up.
Yeah. Actually, it'll just automatically do it
Will it
with
now?
that thing that they put on down here. Cause that's just a blow by, is all that is. So if there's not enough
In the
pressure.
past, yeah, I was always told that there was a big call, we were supposed to call them.
I would still call them, yeah, but, it just won't blow by any water if you're taking from it, so.
Okay, thank you. Police department updates.
Yeah, stats are on your guys' packets. Same as always. I think we average about 50 cases a month, and then there's obviously other calls on there that don't go all the way to a case. Went to the chief conference in April. That went well. Had some great classes. I think the biggest thing I took away from that was networking with other chiefs and sheriffs. Even as simple as coming up with ideas for everything involved with policing. We did have our craft fair where Tina and Amanda, I just wanted to say a quick thanks to them. They helped us get that fundraiser put together. Got donations for food and everything. That money is for that DUI program that I would like to do for the school. They even had some ideas of how to cover the rest of it. As far as, we didn't raise the exact amount that perfect amount, but it was enough where we got a huge jump start on the program. So that was
how
great.
short were you on that? Just
I think we came in like
1679.
1679, and the program that I was looking at was like 2200. So, but we can downsize the program. It was just that was one option. But that was great, I appreciate them, so thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
School interest day is coming up, that's May 10th. And then I did do a couple of options for you guys, I've been talking to Melissa a little bit about our Crown Vic. Feel horrible, like, everybody's talking about money tonight, and how we don't have enough of it. I have no idea what to do. Pat and I looked at what we put into the Crown Vic. We purchased the Crown Vic for $6,000 in 2014
Yes.
from Vermillion PD. Purchased it for $6,000. Since that time, we put over $13,000 just in maintenance on the Crown Vic.
Is
Just,
that the one with the,
New motor?
the different motor?
yeah, and that was 2,500 of it. But we're at $13,000 of maintenance, just keeping it on the road. Currently, I have a list going of stuff that needs, I don't know what to do. I hate to put money into this car, because it just seems silly, we got almost $20,000 into the thing, and we have nothing. So, Sam and I have been looking at applying for the drug fund. There's a drug fund for the state of South Dakota, which Alcester, since Austin and I have been here, we have contributed to the drug fund by seizing seizing assets that people have when they're involved in the drug trade. So it's legal. But the problem is, it's money in and money out. The state drug fund has over $800,000 in requests right now. The current budget is at $4,300. So, but Sam and I were looking at that as there was an agency that did get a cop car purchase from that. So it was an option to possibly pay for our cop car. I spoke with the AG and stuff out at the Chiefs conference, and it doesn't look like there's any money in there. So that being said, we're kind of need to know a direction to go on the Crown Vic, you know. It's adding up what it needs. I just don't know that it's wise to put any money into it, and I know we've kind of beat a dead horse with this topic, so.
Chief, we got these documents here, but
So those are like two options on a state bid. State bid, obviously you can get cars a little bit cheaper than just an average person going in. So those are just two state bid options. I just wanted to show you the cost.
so there's a base cost here,
Yep.
but then there's a whole bunch of numbers after that base cost.
And that's just what each agency would like to add to that cop car, you know. There's, I think, 18 or 20 options for cop vehicles that is on the state bid. The cheapest one is that Charger, which I gave you guys an example.
Yeah.
And then there's just one level up would be a Dodge Durango, or you can go another level up to like a Ford SUV, Explorer, or whatever they're called. So those are just a couple of options, Dan.
But correct me if I'm wrong, you do prefer a lower vehicle like that Dodge Charger,
I like cars, and we have a truck if we need it.
right?
So I don't know that it makes sense to get two trucks. So and the cars are just cheapest. It's the cheapest one, and they have all-wheel drive, which I really like. So, but
Can you kind of, or I can, or you can,
Yeah.
like from the time that you order it, how long it takes to get here and how all that?
yeah, so like on the Charger, for example, it says 120 to 150 day delivery time. So that's kind of what they say. So what Melissa and I had talked about a little bit is, and with Pat too, Pat, we had budgeted for the purchase of a new car in 2020.
Correct.
But we only budgeted for half of the year's worth of payments. So even if we ordered this car tomorrow, odds are it wouldn't be here till, right around January of 2020. So if we ordered a car tomorrow and it showed up January of 2020, we'd add on 6 months of payments earlier. so a half a year's worth of payments. Is that what, did I explain that
Yeah,
right?
right, it's just so the council's aware, like, we knew this was coming, it's just coming a little bit faster than
Right.
what we had initially planned, so. If we order it late enough in the year, we can still plan it out so that it doesn't throw the budget off too much for next year.
Doesn't throw this year's budget. off.
Yeah, right, it doesn't throw this year's budget off, but
Right,
next year we'll need a
We'll have
little
to make
tweak.
adjustments to next year's budget.
Right,
it would be, yeah.
So are there some maintenance costs that would be offset by this new vehicle? I mean, do you have some maintenance costs in there that probably wouldn't be used? That we could use
That are
for
in the
car
budget,
payments?
you mean?
Yeah, I think any way we look at it, Austin and I are gonna get to a point where we're probably sharing that pickup for a while. 'Cause again, I don't want that, I don't feel it's smart to start putting thousands of dollars in the Crown Vic. I just think probably get to a point where we're sharing the truck, at least till we would get something. And if that's 6 months, it's 6 months.
But if we order this now, it could be here in 4 months. 120 days is 4 months.
That's right.
And I would probably,
wait until.
even if we did, I would say, listen, we'd wanna take delivery in January of 20
Okay.
for our budget.
Okay.
So,
And how many of these things down here, we need all these things?
no, that,
So there are specific things there that you think should be there, right?
probably one or two on that
Not
list.
all those?
No. The thing is though, this is just the base.
Yeah.
Cop car, so
Mhm.
light bar, you know, just like with the truck, there's light
Mhm.
bar cage,
Mhm.
everything that goes with a cop car. We estimated that around $8,000.
To add to this price, 8 to
Yes.
10.
8 to 10 to add the 24,000.
That's what we put into the truck, so. And I wish there was stuff we could pull from the Crown Vic into a new car, but nothing works and, and nobody makes Crown Vics anymore, so it's just not compatible. That's where we're at.
Do we have the option, say Jeff, it comes in the 1st of October, do we have the option of delaying delivery until January?
I think, Lance, if we ordered something, I think we would do it up in a fashion where we don't want this car until January of 2020. That's when we want this car.
Well, they probably would delay ordering it too a little bit.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. The county, I talked to the county a little bit, currently they're at like 7 to 9 months waiting on vehicles, so it is, the norm is,
Normally longer.
it takes a while, yeah.
On the base Charger, it talks about these wig-wag headlight and taillights, isn't that? They just go back and forth.
Yeah, there's a factory harness that ties into your light bar, and it just alternates the lights as well. So part of the
Okay.
light package, yeah. I think those are kind of stock, kind of Dodge.
So there is no light bar listed, huh?
Oh, that's all aftermarket.
I think when we bought the truck, we only added about 3 things from the state bid. One of them was the side carriers in the bed,
Yeah, the toolboxes in the
the
truck.
toolboxes, and can't remember, it was very limited what we ordered. The rest of it all came from a third party.
Yeah, you added on the truck, you added on about $1,700 with the options. Remote start.
Remote start was one of them, yep, and the
Rear view camera, I think. No, that was standard. And I really do look at remote start like kind of a luxury deal in my personal life, although I will say, if you're on call at 4 in the morning and you're getting dressed, you're going to a hot call, you can fire that vehicle up, you know, when it's out there running, so that, I thought it was kind of a luxury deal, but it actually pans out as kind of nice, so. in the winter time, dethaws the windows while you're getting ready. Anyways,
Or cool the air conditioning off.
I don't, the Crown Vic doesn't have it, so.
Air conditioning or? Yeah.
Well, I think what you really need to do then would be to go through this list, see exactly what you think you have to have on that thing, and give us a total price of what it's gonna be. Cause there's a list here that adds up, all this stuff on here, that could add up to a lot of money. And there's a lot of things there I'm sure we don't have to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were saying 8 to 10,000, but yeah, we'll need, when we get closer to ordering it, we'll have to
Yeah.
figure out specifically
Exactly what we have
what the
to have,
chief wants.
because there's all kinds of graphics, we don't need all that graphics. I mean, we went through this on that truck, and we ended up with graphics that we didn't even know we were gonna get. So, I think you need to go down through here and get us a list of all the stuff that you need, and let's get a total price on it. How's that sound?
Yep, yeah, there's not, as far as this, the extras on this, I think there's one thing on there, but that's it.
It's after you get the car here, that's when you're gonna be spending the extra 8 to 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for today, we're just looking at base cost,
The
maybe
base
a couple
cost.
extra thousand, or.
Yeah, there was like one
extra-
thing on that list I thought about. That was it.
Do you know what it was?
And which was that?
Yep, the only thing I thought about on that list, the one thing was Bluetooth capacity. For $5.95 or something. And again, you might think of that as a luxury item, but, when dispatch is calling me and I'm on the phone and I'm trying to hold on to that phone and drive the sirens and everything else, I know that sounds like a luxury item to have your phone connected to the car, but I'm telling you, it's a lot safer, and I got 100 things going on in the cop car, so.
So base cost would be about 25 grand. And then when it comes in, then we get to fight about
8 to
8 to
10.
That's 6 months from now, probably, so.
I do think it would be good to actually get pricing so that you know exactly, because the graphics were ordered about the same time the truck was ordered, because it does take some time to come in. The light bar was ordered. Just,
So you're saying don't act on it today, wait until, or if we do, like, give you permission to order it, and then next meeting we can talk about.
have it to our finalized
The other
numbers,
stuff.
yes.
Well, there's another question we have to find out.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
With tax and everything still to add to that, or?
There's no.
No, we're,
So this is just
24,774.
plus you want the Bluetooth at 5.
That
She added the Bluetooth.
Oh, you did?
I did,
What was your total?
24,774.
Can we do a motion on that tonight, or do we need to wait?
You can do it if you want. Have we got figured out the money to pay for this thing?
It would be in January, it'd be a 2020 item in the
Okay,
budget.
so we'd have to put it in the budget for starting January, okay? Well, we're getting along, okay, but we're gonna need it, I mean, there's no question about it.
I would make a motion to purchase the Dodge Charger for $24,774. Or was it, sorry, did I say that wrong? Was it 774?
No, you said.
774. Okay, all right.
Well, you better specify January delivery too.
With I make a motion to purchase the Dodge Charger for $24,774 with a delivery date in January.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Police policy and manual discussion, use of force update.
That was,
What's it
did
on
you
my?
put that on there?
I did, but it can be, sorry.
Okay,
There's nothing, there's no update on that.
we don't need that.
No, sorry.
Okay. So we're not talking manual, the police.
I had asked to have that on.
Okay.
Sorry, Doug.
That's something that Sam and I have been going back and forth of. It's, basically deadly force. And we have it in the current manual that we're going through, Mayor. That's a touchy subject. We just wanna have it, make sure we have it right. So Sam and I have been emailing back and forth a little bit. It's a hard one to get dialed in, so.
And then when you find yourself in that situation, make sure that you pull that manual out and read it beforehand.
That's all we have.
Isn't it, part of it is the way people come from different trainings where the definitions are different, so we gotta have something that.
And
Stake in the ground.
Austin and I went through training 10 years apart, and police training 10 years apart is like two different worlds, so I was trying to find something that was relevant to where we're both at, so. Anyways, that's all I got.
Okay. That it? Got anything else? Okay. Golf course updates.
We're open, everything's going out there, machinery's working after a repair of one of our mowers. I need some guidance on what we should be paying. We can't seem to find a assistant mower, somebody to help mowing about 30 hours a week. Generally, we've been trying to hire somebody at minimum wage, maybe give them a bump after a couple months to see if they're doing really well, but talked to one guy, I thought might be interested, and he said, he just laughs that you'll never find anybody for minimum wage. So what can we pay people, or what should we be thinking about?
Can we do a little research and find out what, I have no idea what a groundskeeper wage is, if it's 10,
This
15,
is just
20.
just to mow?
Yeah, this is somebody to run a tractor.
We can't hire high school students?
Doesn't seem to be anybody that's
No.
interested
But
in
I know my
applying.
grandson's worked for Pearson's golf course, in the past, so.
You want a
I-
job?
Does he want
No, I think they both have full-time jobs. But, no, I was just thinking, if we can offer it to them, but they
That's
just aren't
what-
interested.
Yes, that's what we would like to do. I've mentioned it to Shannon Doring, the counselor at the high school, and she didn't get back to me with any names. That's what we did before. We hired us like a junior or senior in high school and kept Zach on for 4 years, I think, 4 summers, I think.
Have we advertised? Has this been
Oh,
advertised?
we've been
Yeah.
advertised, we've advertised. We didn't get the application from the last person, did we? Hasn't been turned in.
Van Larsen said every single person in South Dakota that wants a job
That's
has
a
a job.
job.
Nobody wants to work.
We thought we
Yeah,
had,
that's right, that's
Nobody
correct.
that isn't working wants to work.
Yeah.
I thought we had a fellow hired, and then, he had an accident, his car was pushed off the road by the ice and water, and found out later that he was, had suffered a cracked pelvis in the accident, so he decided he didn't want to ride a mower all summer,
Yeah.
so. I mean, can we offer him 10 or 10.50 or
Say at least
something?
10.
Yeah.
I'll
I
find
know-
out. My brother used to do it out at Wall, but I think he got $15 an hour.
I was gonna say, when I worked for the company I used to work for back then, our grounds, like we had that department, they made 10 to 12 back then, that's been almost 10 years ago, so.
I'll ask him.
Short and our Dale Jorgensen, the guy that's been there 5 years or something, they get like 1150, isn't it?
Offer them less than they're getting, I guess.
Yeah.
What's minimum at anyway?
910.
910, so.
Well, if we offer the 10.50, if we can get somebody for that.
We'll see what I can come up with. Kathy has a clubhouse, person that would like to work in the clubhouse.
Kayla?
And I guess I would like to make a motion to hire, what figure did we come up with her minimum?
Yes, I think so.
It's Kayla
Solinger.
Solinger. So I'll make a motion that we hire
SOLINGER.
Kayla Solinger for a clubhouse attendant at minimum wage $9.10 an hour.
And
I will second David's motion.
who is she?
The people that had the house fire? It's the gal.
She works at the T school
Yes.
as a paraprofessional,
On maternity leave right now,
so she,
but she wants the job.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Who was the second?
I was.
Lance.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Executive session, litigation. Motion to move into executive session pursuant to STCR 1-25-2-2.
I'll make a motion to enter into executive session.
I'll second
I'm gonna take a
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We're in executive session.
Do we need a 5-minute break first? Or
Yeah.
Yes, we can take a break.
That's why I don't drink anything, I'm not going.
Eight-
So wait till I go
Oh,
home.
sweet, thank you.
What time is it?
8:40?
8:40.
Yes.
Did it go, it was on yeah, I saw it on auction time.
Yep, it went on auction time and it sold for $550, so. And we've already received the check from Tim Rankin. So I have to go down and get the title and Tim's gonna pick that up and send that on its merry way. We did have, the group that I belong to, it's a sorority group, we did have a, salad luncheon and it was a fundraiser and we pick and something to donate the money to every year, and this year was to donate to get the Chase Lounge chairs for the pool. We have not had a sorority meeting, so I don't know how much money will be paid to the city, but, we did raise about $1,200 that night, so I'm assuming somewhere around the 700 to 1,000 will come to the city to help fund the Chase Lounge. I have met with Jeff Billingsness. This year, we're really focusing on some of the more critical properties, so we're really focusing hard on those. We still will be looking overall at all of the properties, but, we're staying on top of the property maintenance letters. They're getting out and time frames are put on them, and so we're hoping to see some progress in that area. We have to do a water test on a routine basis, and on April 4th, we did have some chloroform show up. We test at the school every year, the high school, or every month. And we have a procedure in place that when chloroform is found, we do 5 houses upstream, 5 houses downstream retest. And so we did retest and everything came back good. So it was just a spike or a weird situation that happened. I made contact with Owens, is our water tower contract that we have for keeping inspections regular on our water tower. And they will be coming on Wednesday, May 15th. And that's where Lonnie, we coordinated, that's why the pool is going to get filled that day, because we have to drain the water tower for them to do, this is an internal inspection, so. And I contacted Pittsburgh Tank and Tower to do a cleaning on the outside of the tank. We have been in need of that done for quite some time, and so he did shoot me a bid, and it's in your packets, we'll be talking about it in a minute. I don't know if you've read your South Dakota Municipal League magazine yet, but last month we talked a little bit about how cities are going to be having a little less sales tax money coming in due to a change. And so they did list all the towns in Alcester, and we're in that 4,000 to 6,000 range, a decrease in sales tax dollars projected, depending on how the legislation goes through.
So would half of that be the second penny and half the first penny?
Yes. Yeah, that would be the full amount, so. During the month of April, I had 6 FOIA requests, and I, was waiting to do them in chronological order, and so, one of them I needed my May bank statement for, so I will be working on those, getting those done. We did have, I started the process with CCOG to get the funding for the wastewater facility treatment plan grant. And we had a little glitch. When I contacted CCOG contacted DENR, and DENR said, you guys aren't gonna qualify for the grant. And they said, because we did one in 2006, 2005, we started it in 2006, and a plan was done, and we never followed through with the things that were on the plan. And I went through the records and I could not find the facility plan and for that time frame. And so I contacted Tanya Miller, who's our contact at Banner, and I said, do you have the plan from 2005? And she's like, no, that was a water plan, not wastewater. So, and then I did go back to CCOG, and I explained both to CCOG and to Tanya at Banner that we have been funding all the repairs ourselves at the sewer plant. And in 2011 to 2019, it's $130,000 worth of repairs that we have paid from the rates collected to maintain our sewer plant. So I said, there's no way we should be turned down for this grant. And now our plant is at its half-year life, and it's the time that we really need to have a plan for upgrading. So with all that being said, CCOG went back to DENR, and DENR is going to grant us to go ahead with the grant. So that's good news.
No kidding.
Horizon Medical Clinic is doing a major upgrade on their dental clinic. And they approached the city wanting to do an open house once it is done, which I believe it will be in June. And they wanted to block off part of Iowa Street. They had contacted the bank, and they, wanted to make sure the bank was okay with it, because it would be right where cars would be turning out from the drive-through. And then I talked to the chief, and I said, what do you think about this? And of course, the hours of the open house would be from like 11:30 to 1:30, which would be right during lunch, where Alcota employees and Custom Coils employees are maybe going to be driving. And so it just wasn't a good situation. So in talking with Horizon today, they have decided to move the open house, or move the meal, because they're doing a meal. You can do a tour, you can come and get a meal here at the auditorium. So, as I know more, I will pass that on, but just so you know, we will not be blocking up Iowa Street now. Wanda and I met with the lifeguards, 2 of the lifeguards who want to be our co-managers this year. We met with them Friday night, and they're both going to be finishing up school, and they got together and they've already set the dates for swimming lessons. So swimming lessons in June will be June 17th through the 28th, and swimming lessons in July will be the 15th through the 26th. So, and then as we know more, we'll get going. Wanda and I do feel though we still are probably 1 or 2 lifeguards short. Now Kendra says, because she also fills in over in the Beersford pool, Kendra says that they have overhired in the Beersford pool, so she's gonna see if some of those might be interested in filling in when we have, like, the girls go to volleyball camp or baseball, or basketball camp. We might have a need to have some lifeguards fill in. And tomorrow, we did post a notice a couple weeks ago on our door, and tomorrow will be the first Tuesday where our office will be closed Tuesday afternoon, so, just so you guys are aware of that. All right.
Okay. Okay. Summer equipment purchases. Motion to approve purchase of chase lounge chairs, benches, and picnic tables from Recreation Supply Company. Is that the total on all of it, back at 5,000?
No. That, oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, $5,450. What we're looking at is lounge chairs for the swimming pool, new benches that go in the park at the horseshoe pits, and picnic tables. We do need new picnic tables also.
And the 5,450 is everything that would come from that Recreation Supply Company. So these are all like a powder coated type, heavy duty commercial grade product.
The Lions Club too is still getting some, right?
For the park?
Park.
I don't
Well,
know.
the reason is when we cleaned up yesterday, she said that got put on the back burner because of the rain and they will be purchasing something for the park.
Okay.
She did say that yesterday.
Yeah, they had gotten permission to do it and then nothing ever happened last
And
year, so.
I don't know what either, but she said they were. So.
Okay, well, I just did a walkthrough on the park and, what we consider a bench at the horseshoe pit is really a post in the ground. There's maybe 4 posts on a side and then a board laid over the top.
They need to go, and we do need some
There's rotten wood
kind of,
behind the stakes on all of them. So, and then the kids are a little bit vandalist when it comes to the folding collapsible picnic tables in the park. They jump on them until they bust. So and they etch on them, so it's probably time to put some new tables in there. So, when we did the budget, we had budgeted 4,000 for the Chase Lounge chairs, 3,000 for benches at the horseshoe pit, 2,000 for the collapsible picnic tables. And so that was a total of $9,000. And then I got my catalogs out and I started doing the research, and if we could buy the 18 Chase Lounges, 4 benches at the horseshoe pit, the 10 collapsible picnic tables, and then I had money left over, so I looked into getting 2 picnic tables to put down here. And then also when I talked with Lauren wants us to buy our own 300-gallon toters, which is fine. And so I got a price from Randy at Sanitation Products, which is the same place that Lauren buys them. And there is a quote in there. We missed out on getting shipment on Lauren. Lauren just placed a large order, and we missed out getting in their shipment. So he couldn't give me an estimate on what the shipping would be. But so he just gave me the quote of the 2 units, and then whatever shipping will end up being. So
Where did they come from?
I did not ask that. And then I had Mayor Tom and I went up and we looked at the roof on the picnic shelter, the newer picnic shelter. And the roof on that is kind of weird. The roof that has full sun on the east is in good shape. But the roof on the west, which is shaded, is the shingles are curling. So, and when we did budget committee last summer, we had talked about that we needed to probably do something. And so I had Mayor Tom, get a price on the steel from Dakota Steel. And I don't know if it's something that we could do with volunteer labor hours, but roughly we figured about $3,500 would be material costs. And it seems like it'd be a pretty easy roof to lay some steel on because it's not a high pitch, not a high building. I don't know if it's something that you guys would be interested in doing, like having a volunteer night. Or either that or we put it out and, you know, see if I could get like Delane Pitboom or someone to roof it for us, so. So we had budgeted 10,000 to put a new steel roof on that, and with material costs coming in about $3,500. So I seek input on that.
Well, we called the Dakota Steel and, they referred me to Schoeneman's, well, 3 different companies. But I went over to Schoeneman's over in Hayward, and they kinda gave me a rough idea of the prices, and that's about what we come up with. It's gonna be pretty close to that. I'd get up there and measure the thing exactly what we would need, but, that's gonna be pretty close.
You're doing the whole thing, not just the
Yeah,
side. It's-
yeah, and that's for steel roof,
And the gutter suffered some damage on the west side.
on the west side.
I don't know if a tree branch came down and hit it, but it's all bent, so.
3 pieces of gutter, 2 connectors and a downspout outlet.
Well, it's 36 feet, so, yeah,
Four,
you got
four,
72 feet. yeah.
4 sections, well.
Well, I like your idea of a labor night, but if you can get qualified people to do it,
Yeah.
is the first question, I guess. And what is this, 36 feet long,
Yeah.
single pitch,
It's just a 412 pitch, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a gable roof.
and it's short enough stretches, it's gonna be 12-foot or 14-foot lengths or something?
I think I figured 14 feet,
Okay, pre-cut lengths.
yeah, and they're all 3 foot, so it should just work out just about perfect.
You know, one guy will come along and prep that and,
Well, you gotta run your 1 before stripping every
Yes.
2 feet,
yeah,
and then there's the roof edging on the front, the drip cap, then put the steel on, and then you put your coming up the ridge, they got that curls over the side, put that on.
but 3 or 4 days labor, one man should be able to. I would guess, if I would estimate it, you know, if you're gonna have 50 hours of labor doing that, at
$1,000.
$1,000 to $1,500 labor should do it.
Yeah.
Delane's reasonable.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I think he likes the smaller projects
Yeah,
like
he
that.
does.
And I'm sure I can get away from whatever I'm doing as long as we don't do it while I'm working at Peach Produce. I could help if he needs another hand.
Yeah. Well, I'd be willing to go there and help with it, that's for sure.
So we're needing some motions, are we?
Yes, please.
We need a motion
Okay,
about the,
we'll start at the top.
okay.
Seeing as how we're under budget, it all sounds good and the money is budgeted. I will make the motion to approve the purchase of the chaise lounge chairs, benches, and picnic tables from Recreation Supply Company for $5,450.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, any discussion?
Yeah, the benches are they coming from Recreational Supply Company too?
Yes,
That's what, yeah, that's right in there.
I thought she was talking about posts and a piece of wood.
No,
No,
that's
that's what
what
they are
ours
now.
Yeah, we gotta
New
get
ones
those
are
out of
really
there.
kinda cool.
Yeah, and we're just figuring 4 benches, 1 on each corner, it'd be a lot better.
You can have those old ones.
I could, thanks.
You have to take them out.
For burning wood, good burning wood.
We have a bird pile.
Okay, any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to purchase folding football, or football field, picnic tables for City Park from Sam's Club for $1,599.
So fold up is what we have right now, right?
Yep, they're collapsible, they operate just like a 8-foot folding table. The crossbars
Yeah,
fold out and.
we need to keep them folding because sometimes the football field needs to.
Yep, the football field, or the Booster Club takes them for homecoming
Those are the ones that, the kind that we have in the second
in the newer shelter.
new
Yep.
shelter.
There really isn't anything down on the other one, is there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
Couple
two,
wooden
Couple.
ones.
Couple of beat up.
Green.
two of the nice heavy ones that they can't
Right.
destroy, other than write their names. and
So that's
names.
what we're figuring on, is 2 tables? How many tables? you
10.
pick?
10,
Two
it
tables.
says,
Can't change
What are we doing
kids.
with the old ones?
Well,
we're gonna
Giving
put
them
2
to
down
Booster
here.
no,
No,
I mean,
we're-
we'll probably still keep them and use them, cause we have the open shelter as well. We have tables that break each year, so this is just kind of replenishing our table supply. And then they're a little bit nicer, because they're not gonna be etched on.
I make a motion to purchase fold-up picnic tables for the city park. Approximately 10 of them from Sam's Club for $1,599.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to approve Governor's Office 3-year website contract, $700 per year for 3 years.
Back in 2014, I had obtained a quote from Gov Office to get a website, and then I had them re-quote it. Gov Office, they're used to working with government agencies. A lot of the towns around here use it. They just provide a template. And you can choose different templates. You could change it up a bit whenever you wanted. And your content just automatically adjusts to the new template. So it's pretty foolproof. I worked on the software when I was in Beersford. Beersford uses it on their website, but it would give us an opportunity then to be able to post all of our agendas, the minutes, the ordinances, planning and zoning, so, and then notices for emergency type situations, when we're gonna be flushing the hydrants, when we're going to be issuing snow alerts. So I asked him to give us a quote. Our current website, he asked if we wanted to have them migrated all over, and I'm like, no, we'll just start from scratch and input as we go. So basically, they offer a program for communities based on your size. And it is $700 a year.
And that's
For
everything
3 years.
included. Is there an extra startup cost for that? Or?
I don't think so, because we're not gonna be transferring anything over, and we're not gonna be asking them to, migrate anything, so.
So the website for the golf course, could that be,
Yes, the golf course could have a page on that as well.
so then we wouldn't need the $400 for the
We just, paid it this year, but we
2
certainly,
years?
yeah.
What was the difference between the $700 plan and there was one that was $900?
Based on your population.
Oh,
For towns that are under a certain population qualify for the $700.
But it did say for the 700 that there was no no startup cost, it said
Right,
nothing
right.
for that.
yeah.
So,
Well, and you get the luxury of being able to renew it at the same rate. That's kind of unheard of, really. I mean, to be able to do that.
eventually, once we get, our website up and running, the next thing I wanna do, we get calls on a lot, is to be able to pay your bill online. And GovOffice does offer this service, but I'll probably use a third party, cause there's a lot of other communities that use, I think it's called PayGov, which they just put a link on your current website, you as a user click on it, and then you say you're gonna pay, you can look up your bill and say, this is my bill and I'm gonna pay this amount and send it. So. And then also eventually I'd like to get to a point where we accept, credit cards or debit cards in our office. We get a lot of call for that, and we don't do it, so. And a lot of people don't bank here, so then if they wanna pay us something, they can't. They have to come back.
Alright, I'll make a motion to approve GovOffice 3-year website contract at $700 per year for 3 years.
I'll second Melissa's motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, any discussion?
This is in our budget, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Online banking, motion to approve setting up online banking with Premier Bank.
I asked about this at our last audit, and the gals were shocked that we weren't on online banking, and I said, well, I didn't think as auditors you would want us to be. And she said, no, it makes your life a lot easier if you can log in and see when transactions are coming through, especially now that it's summer and our golf course is up and running, a lot of our beer is automatically taken out. And we'll get to a stage where the food is also automatically taken out, but, so anyway, this is recommended by the auditors, and so basically before the bank would allow us to move forward with it, they need to know that you as a council are on board with it as well.
I'll make a motion to approve setting up online banking with Premier Bank in Alcester.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, any discussion?
The only question I have is, as far as like the PIN or the password and everything like that, I mean, perish the thought, something should happen to you,
Mhm.
that needs to be safeguarded somehow.
I have a file that has all of our logins and passwords here. It is password protected, and Wanda knows the password.
That helps, thank you.
We can't let both of you fly on the same airplane.
No, no.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to approve Pittsburgh tank and tower, cleaning the water tower for $9,750.
I would make the motion to approve the cleaning of the water tower for $9,750.
I'll second that.
And that was the amount that we budgeted last year, right?
I had 98, yeah, so.
And this is the outside?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, get rid of that mold.
Okay, no painting, just cleaning.
No, no painting, just power washing.
So one thing that they did say is, it may not necessarily get rid of all of the staining.
Correct.
However, when was it then, in our budget to paint? Wasn't it the following year?
No, that's gonna be a huge expense when we decide to paint that.
Oh, I thought it was already in there.
I don't have it in there to paint.
Okay, just wondering.
Okay,
When we do paint, I think we should change the scheme so that the top and for sure the bottom is a dark color.
So you can't see it,
Yeah.
the
So if
drips.
it gets,
is this smiley face or something?
not necessarily,
An emoji!
at least the bottom, maybe you wouldn't want the top, because then you'd end up with hot water in your
Well,
stomach.
then when you fly over in the airplane, you could see a smiley face, you know where you were.
We could do
I
that.
think they
Okay.
tried to do that when it was built, and the reason why they didn't was because it costs a lot more money to paint it a darker color.
When we do decide to repaint, it's going to be a lot of topic of discussion because it's a big expense. We do it very often, bless you. And people have a lot of input about what color it should be, what kind of design you should have. So yeah, it'll be a big deal when it gets painted.
Yeah.
Okay, Anyway, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Audit. Motion to approve Plum, Berglund, and Post to audit 2018 financials for $6,000.
I will make a motion to approve Quan, Berglund, and Post to audit the 2018 financials for $6,000.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to approve Kendra Jensen and Jacqueline Holloway as co-pool managers at a rate of $10.50 an hour.
I would make the motion to approve Kendra and Jacqueline at $10.50 per hour as pool co-managers.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, who, like, did they interview, is there applications, is there anything to?
They've been our lifeguards for the last 3 years. They've worked their way up in ranks. They were both doing WSI last year. And they approached us about becoming the co-managers, and it was the logical decision.
And didn't you say that even though they're not really hired, they already have a schedule kind of set up?
Yes.
for-
Because we met with them Friday night and just kind of, threw some stuff out there of, where we need to go and what we need and when the pool's gonna get filled and when it needs to open and the 4th of July hours and so.
Yeah.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Motion to approve purchase of garbage cans from sanitation products for $900. Those are those big ones we've seen out here.
Correct.
And how many are we talking?
Just two.
Two of
They're
them?
just going in the park.
So what, what? Two in the park?
In the park.
Is the one still gonna stay up there for the city guys then? At the city?
Yeah, because he took our
Okay.
dumpster away.
That's what I thought, it was gone, yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't have to buy that one though?
No,
Okay,
no.
just the two in the park.
And we're gonna go green with those. We're gonna make them green instead of blue
Okay.
to differentiate us from Warren Fisher. But they are ours and not his.
Ah,
So one will be by the campsites on the dirt road, and one will be by the water tower for the shelter. And that should be easy access for them to dump.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of garbage cans from sanitation products for $900.
I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Malt beverage licenses. You need a malt beverage licenses for Alcester Quick Stop, Valley's Total Stop, and Alcester Golf Course. So-
These are coming up due in July, what? right?
Yes, yes.
I'll make a motion to approve 2019-2020 malt beverage licenses for Alcester Quick Stop, Hillbillies, Total Stop, and Alcester Golf Course, and allow Mayor Glass to sign the alcohol purchase agreements.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
and where does the Alcester Bar fit in?
They have 2 other licenses. They are not in this group.
And that's just at a different time of year? or-
Yep, we do that in November.
Did you second that?
Yes, Dave and Darla.
Gotcha.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Reminders and updates. Thank you to the Alcester Baptist Church for the park cleanup on May 5th. Alcester High School hosts track meet May 7th.
It's tomorrow.
Graduation May 11th. Audit on May 13th, 14th. Golf course free weekend, June 1st and 2nd of 2019.
And specify that's free green fees. Everything free.
Okay, Fair board update,
None as of now, the meeting got canceled.
okay. HRC update,
We had our meeting, it went very well, we had all of our members present and elected officers, and we got now 3 possible signers. One would be the treasurer, and then the president and vice president are both authorized signers for, in the event that one of those 2 is not available
okay.
for
You need,
checks.
you need just one signer or 2?
2,
2. Okay.
the treasurer has to sign, and
One of the
it
first.
used to be just the president, but now we got 2.
Okay.
There's no, interest in purchasing anything up there, that drive?
Not of late. We did have quite a discussion about that too. I forgot to bring that for you.
That's all right.
I'll get it to you.
Yeah, next time, it's fine.
Yeah, we did have quite a bit of discussion about that and really what the best method of advertising is. And we don't really know if there is a best method. There's just an expensive method. And that's what all advertising is expensive, so.
Can you do a Facebook page?
We probably could.
I don't know if they would charge you if that.
Well,
Could it be on Alcester one?
That's what I was wondering.
could even just, actually could talk to everybody that is associated with the city of Alcester, and
If we have this new webpage.
Mhm.
yeah,
Put
throw
that
it in.
page in that.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Mhm. How long will it take for that website to be up and running?
Probably 60 days.
60?
Good points.
When will that new Alcester magazine thing start? You know,
Oh, community guide?
yeah,
The deadline for stories and all that stuff is the 31st
Of
of May.
May?
so.
We won't get the
will be-
magazine till July.
Yeah, well, that'll be in there, in that booklet, so. Okay,
Yeah, that's right.
all right, thank you. Updating volunteer roster for workman's comps, is there anything on that?
No change that I know of.
I was out at the golf course one day, Richard Ackland was out there picking up sticks,
Okay,
and if he's gonna do that on his own, there may be occasion where we'll ask him to come out and do something, so
okay,
I'd like to add Richard Ackland, in
okay.
case he falls down while he's picking up sticks or something.
How do you spell his last name?
Aklend.
Is that an official motion?
That's, oh, yes, excuse me, I'll make a motion to add Richard Ackland to our workman's compensation volunteer roster.
Okay,
I will second that.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Executive session if needed. Anybody need an executive session? Okay, then we need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We're adjourned at 9:30.